If your Facebook and Instagram ads are bringing in leads that never buy, you're probably making the same mistake 90% of coaches make. And I'm going to share with you 2 strategies that helped us and our clients attract higher quality leads with our ads, honestly, almost overnight. All right, so I'm going to go over to my iPad and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we have to understand is that post Andromeda, whatever hits this results column right here matters more than anything, okay? So previously we used to do a lot of audience control and targeting and stuff like that, but now what matters more than ever is the people that hit this results column. Okay, so if you don't have a lot of filtering in place and you're optimizing for just a lot of leads, you're probably going to attract the wrong type of people. So the number one piece of advice I hope you get out of this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this, is to only send back the data to the results column here that are your ideal clients. Okay. And you want to do that based off of the amount of pixel fires you can get, right? So I'm going to go over this here in a second, but based on your amount of spend and how many events you're getting per week, we can optimize for things that are deeper in the funnel. And the further along, right, the more we optimize for these bottom of funnel events down here, the better our quality is going to be. Okay, if we're just optimizing for leads and there's no filtering on leads, we're going to get a bunch of junk leads. You have to understand that Facebook's entire job when you're optimizing your ads, it even says it in there. Do you want the cheapest cost per result? And we say, what is the cheapest cost per result we want? And we say, hey, I want the cheapest cost per result for leads. Well, guess what it's going to do for you? It's going to get you the cheapest cost per result for that event. That doesn't mean the best quality. So the number one piece of advice that I have for you is make sure you're only sending back good data to Facebook. Okay. Now, traditional rule of thumb here is Facebook says it wants 50 conversions per week. Okay. So 50 conversions per week. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you, if you don't hit 50 conversions, that's okay. All right. I'm going to encourage you guys, if you have at least 1 or 2 pixel fires per day, that is better than sending back 50 conversions per week of junk data. Okay. That doesn't really help us. So Facebook says 50, and I'm telling you right now, it's okay if you can send back 1 or 2 qualified events per day. That's better because, again, whatever ad gets the spend and gets you the good quality people, we want Facebook to spend more money on those, not just ads that are going to get you in a bunch of cheap leads. Okay. So I'm going to go through this chart over here and we'll kind of say, if you're starting out and don't have a lot of spend, you're going to probably have to optimize for leads, because let's say that your cost per booked call, or cost per sale, let's just say for a coaching company is $500, right? If you're B2C, it's $500. Well, if you're spending, $10 a day or $20 a day, you can't optimize for sales. If you're spending $500 to $1,000 per day, we could optimize for sales, but if you're not, then we can't, right? So we have to make sure that we're picking the right event based on our budget. Again, deeper in the funnel is better, but if you don't have a big budget, let's say you're doing $20 to $50 per day, you're probably going to have to optimize for qualified leads. Now, how we're going to optimize for qualified leads is just having in your form field for your opt-in, for your lead magnet, for your VSL, is having just a section here that calls out your ideal avatar. This is mine. Are you an online coach doing at least $5,000 a month with $1,000 a month to invest in ads? Those that select yes are going to be pixeled, and that's going to push back this event over here for complete registrations, which is what I've got over here, right? So only qualified people are going to hit that column. Okay. So if you're only spending 20 to 50 bucks per day, that's probably what you're going to optimize for. Other cases where you would optimize for this is if you have a very long sales cycle. So for the one I'm sharing above here, this is a mini course funnel. And this takes a lot of time. This takes anywhere from 30 to 90 days for someone to buy. Most of Facebook's attribution window is 7 days. So because of that, it's a longer term funnel. I'm going to optimize for qualified leads, not booked calls. Because what I found is when I optimized for booked calls for this funnel, I got people who were just, funnel hacking essentially. And I wasn't getting people who were booking fast or the right quality people. But when I optimized for qualified leads and I let them go through the sales cycle and they go through the content, they enjoy it, then they book a call, they're more likely to buy. Okay. So that's the top of a funnel, right? Qualified leads. If you're doing low spend or you have a funnel that is a longer nurture cycle, qualified leads works. Also, webinars work well too, because again, we're trying to optimize for webinar registrations, the challenges, like if you're doing a free challenge, you would do qualified leads because the calls are going to happen, 7 to 14 days after you're running the ads. right? So just make sure you're picking the right event for the right funnel, okay? So that's qualified leads. The second thing you could optimize for is qualified applications. Now I put this in here. I've got 1 or 2 clients that run qualified applications. Most of the time, the application happens around the day or two, same as qualified calls. So I typically don't do this one, but I'm gonna encourage you guys to try this out, right? So you can try this out. Qualified applications are still better than qualified leads. And how you would do that is in your application form, before someone books a call and sees the schedule page, they should go through an application where you're asking questions like, is this you? Yes or no, right? Do you have money to invest? Yes or no, right? As well as other things that may help you qualify, is this person actually qualified to work with you? And if they are, great. Then you can have that event, qualified applications, fire, right? And again, I can optimize for that. Again, most of the time though, I do qualified calls. Right? Honestly, they're very similar in like, again, if someone does an application, they should book a call within a day or two after that. Ideally, same day, same session. Right? So qualified calls, this is where I'm spending between $100 and $1,000 a day. I'm gonna have a big range here, but whatever your cost per call is, like I said, Facebook wants 50 conversions per week, but if we're getting 1 to 2 booked calls per day, I'm gonna optimize for qualified calls. Now, I'm gonna share with you guys how to do this in a second, as well as pitch calls, because this stuff is just fire. I'm gonna go into Go High Level to show you how I set this up with Conversions API. So stick around for that, okay? Now, the other 2 ones, which can be very, very powerful, again, are gonna be pitched calls and sales. So just because someone books a call doesn't mean they're gonna show for the call. So what I have the pitch calls actually in Zapier, to where when a tag is added, and I won't show this one here today, but when a tag is added after a call happens, that actually zaps it over to Facebook saying this was a qualified call. So I'm building this one. This is actually a newer event for me, but I'm starting to train the pixel for people who actually show up to sales calls and actually get pitched. Because one of the issues that I've seen, I'm gonna put red up here, when people optimize for qualified calls, is again, it's still kind of prioritizing potentially funnel hackers, okay? Funnel hackers, or like people who just book without watching the video. So I'm gonna say, or without video, like, impulse, like I'm gonna book a call, and then they don't ever confirm, etc. Now, if you stick around in like 5 minutes, I'm gonna show you guys how to optimize for qualified calls to avoid that by manually pushing the people through Go High Level. And this is fire. I typically only say this for my paying clients, but let you guys in a little secret today, okay? And the bottom one over here would be, I could also optimize for sales. Now, the only thing with sales, again, Facebook tends to attribute over 7 days. So I would only run a sales objective campaign or sales conversion campaign if my sales cycle is within 7 days, okay? So this means you're probably gonna be running a direct VSL type of funnel. So this is gonna be anything that looks like an ad, right, to a VSL or application, right? And then straight to a call. And then the call happens ideally within like a week's time. And then there's a sale, okay? Now, the only time I'm really gonna run a sales objective is if I'm spending well over $1,000 plus per day, okay? And again, the reason that we're doing this, one is we're gonna send the data back. I'll show you how to do that with Go High Level. But 2, when we pick the objective, when we pick, hey, I want you to find leads, Facebook is gonna find people that are likely to fill out forms on your website. When I ask for qualified calls, it's gonna be looking for people, right, that are likely to book calls. When we're optimizing for people that are likely to buy, it's gonna put it in front of people that are likely to buy. So we wanna match, what do we want, and tell that to Facebook. Right? Again, as long as we're getting 1 to 2 conversions per day. So if you have a short sales cycle and you're spending $1,000 plus per day, we can optimize for sales, okay? But again, we need that like 7-day window here. And then we also need to have enough spend to get enough conversions per day. So again, about $1,000 per day. And this is gonna be at the campaign level, okay? So again, if you want better quality people, only send back the right people to Facebook. Okay, now let me share with you guys, I'm gonna jump into Go High Level. I'm gonna share with you guys how to do this step by step with Conversions API. And then stick around because I'm gonna share with you guys the second tip that I use to make sure that I'm getting better qualified leads coming into my funnels. All right, so I'm in Go High Level right now, and I have an entire folder in my automations workflows section in here that is Conversion API. So you can see I've got all the ones I just shared with you. I've got leads, I've got purchases, I've got qualified calls, I've got scheduled calls, and then I have the application submitted. Right? So let me first just share with you guys the lead one, right? Because like I shared with you guys, I'll pull this up over here in this section here. This is my mini course. This is where a lot of my traffic goes to, but I only want to send back people who are my ideal client. So they're online coaches with at least $1,000 a month to invest in ads. Now we do this by creating a workflow. to where when someone fills out that form, right? So this one is that when they fill out this form, which is my mini course form, then what I've done is I've created a condition inside of here. And the condition is, can you invest in ads? And which is that question that says, are you a coach making 5K a month or more? And can you invest in ads? And if the answer is yes, Go High Level has an internal action that sends back conversion API data. And this is very, very accurate because what it does is it actually takes the click ID, it takes the pixel, it takes all the information that's captured by Go High Level when someone visits the website and it sends it back to Facebook, okay? So that ensures only the right people are gonna be optimized for this event. Again, this is for higher top of funnel events or for if you just have a low spend and we can't optimize for book call. Now, the second workflow I wanna share with you guys, this thing is fire, okay? Go High Level made an advanced builder. Like some of you guys may have it, some of you guys may not have it, but let me show you guys what I'm doing to send back only qualified calls before they actually happen so I can optimize the event, schedule calls faster, okay? So there are two different events inside of here. That's why they made an advanced builder. So we can have like essentially multiple workflows inside of one workflow. So I can group them together versus like previously I had like 3 or 4 different automations that all kind of did the same thing or like were all kind of lumped together. But now they made an update to where all of those can be in one workflow. So that's why it looks the way that it does. Yours might look more like this, but the same principles apply here, okay? So here's what happens. Somebody books an appointment on my sales team's calendars, right? Then I have a filter that says, has the pixel fired before, yes or no? And that happens in the second step here, where once the conversion event fires, I actually tag them pixel fired. Now, the reason I did this is I don't want the pixel to fire multiple times if somebody reschedules an appointment, if somebody needs a second call, or maybe even a third call for a follow-up close, right? Hopefully they don't, but sometimes that happens. What I don't want is again, that same person to fire in the results column 5 times because Facebook will see that and says, hey, this ad over here is crushing it. It's getting you so many book calls. But in reality, it could be the same person booking multiple times, and that's gonna mess up the allocation of ad spend. So we don't want that. So what I've done instead, when the person books, it's gonna look at the contact and says, does this person have the tag schedule pixel fired? If it does, the workflow ends. If it doesn't, then they get added to a pipeline. And I've built a super simple pipeline. You can see it right here in the opportunity section here, where I have a new call that is booked, and then I have over here, send pixel. So coming back to this workflow, when I drag and drop, this says when pipeline stage is changed. So when I'm over here and I drag this person over to send pixel, then the pixel event fires. I'm giving you guys all the secret sauce here. So what happens here is I can review this application and I can make sure that this person, 1, isn't a funnel hacker, and 2, is a serious candidate, and then I can push the event over. Because when we didn't do this, I was getting people who were booking, again, within 1 or 2 minutes, they didn't really watch the video, they weren't really interested in the offer, and Facebook started optimizing my ads based off of that, and they didn't show to calls. So what I've been doing manually, and I'll go in here, or our VA can do this once or twice a day, come in here, they can open up this contact, review the application, and if they're a good fit, they'll fire the event, right? They can just move them over. So let me show you this workflow. So this person here, this will be blurred out, but you'll see this as a contact here. I'm just gonna open up this contact. And then when I open this contact up, I can see this entire person's journey. So this person has not been a contact of us at all. They just came in straight from a video and booked a call. And I can see that over here in the activity feed. So sometimes if somebody books this within a minute or 2 of visiting, I could say, maybe not the best fit. So I'm gonna review their entire history with us. And if I click on the application appointment form submitted, I can see their entire questions in the applications. So this person works with venture-backed founders working in the media business. My goal is to scale my capacity so I can help creators with traction. What do you want to do in the next 6 months from now? Diversified across more clients, a healthier mix across a productized offering or retainer for project-based work. PS, unsure if you're working today, but if you're available, let's do it. So they booked a call for the same day. All right. Do you have any clients? No. What's your total monthly revenue? It's 25,000 plus. Clients are paying them $5,000 for their program. And that's enough for me. And they also came from a YouTube video. So looking at this, first off, there's some yellow flags, like they don't have any clients now is what it says, but they're making $25,000 a month or more. They have a high ticket offer. So I can look at this. And for me, this is enough, especially because they came from a YouTube video and they came from my most recent video I posted last Tuesday. I'm going to push this one through, right? But I could come in here and I could see that they put one word answers, right? They could have answered the questions, but they weren't really answering questions and they could have booked really fast. I don't think that's the case here. So I am going to push this one through. So let's come back to my opportunities. And then I'm just going to drag this lead over to send pixel. Okay. So now when I come back to this over here, let's go ahead and refresh this. I can now go through the enrollment history. I can see that this person is here. I can see their execution path and boom, the pixel event has fired. Now they're added with that tag pixel fired. So they won't fire again. Okay. So again, this is next level stuff. You can do this. You can make this more advanced if you want to. You can do the same thing again for like pitched calls. So after a call has happened, we can do that same exact thing. I can make a new pipeline for pitched, and when the salesperson pitches that lead or say they're qualified, boom, the event fires. Pretty cool, right? Okay, that's tip number one. Again, whatever you send back to the results column, Facebook is gonna optimize more for. Now, the second thing that you can do to massively improve the quality of your leads is what you say in your ads, who you call out in your ads. So I'm gonna share with you guys, this is inside of the mini course campaign, but I'm gonna open one of these up. Okay, and I'm just gonna show you how I'm calling out online coaches who make $5,000 a month or more, right? So you can see it here, online coaches making 5K a month, online coaches making 5K per month. And then if you go into the actual page itself, right? Again, when they hit this page, is this you, yes or no, right? And I think I even have it down here. You should be making at least 5K a month and have at least 30 to 50 bucks a day to invest in ads. So I'm super specific in my call outs, right? Online coaches making 5K a month or more. Online coaches making 5K a month or more. Oftentimes in the videos, I'll just be sharing, hey, if you're an online coach making 5K a month or more, like whatever you say in your ads or in the copy, Facebook is going to put that ad in front of that person. It will transcribe your entire video. It will transcribe your entire photo. It'll transcribe your entire primary text to make sure that it's going to the right people, okay? So I've got that on all of my ads. All of my ads look that way. So if I come over and open this ad up as well, you'll see, online coaches making 5K a month, right? It says it right there. So again, the more signals that you can send to Facebook of this is the type of people that I want, the better. The more people are going to see your ads who you want to see your ads. If you're not calling them out in your ads, Facebook can't help you. So first tip again is only send back qualified data. Only send that back people who will hit the results column, who you want the results column to fire for. And the second thing is be explicit in your ads. I used to think that when I called out, hey, online coaches making 5K a month or more, my cost per lead was gonna be super high. And when I did this, it actually didn't change my cost per lead. It's still 15 to 25 bucks to get a qualified lead who is making at least 5K a month or more. But I used to think there's no way there's enough people out there who are doing that. My cost per lead is going to be like 50 bucks. And I proved myself wrong. So make sure, again, you're calling out the people you want to hit your results column and then only send back that data. If you do those two things, I'm telling you right now, you're going to get way better people coming through your funnel. And the more good quality people that come through your funnel, the more calls you book, the more sales you make. All right, so that's all I got for this video today. If you guys want a bigger picture overview of how the pixel works, how API conversions work, so that you have a better understanding of all this, make sure to watch this next video.